Welcome. You are now tuned into the Textually Active podcast.
Yo, welcome back to another episode of Textually Active, your weekly dose of conversations. I didn't even do the Textually Active.
Textually Active.
Your weekly dose of conversations about navigating the digital age while dealing with friendships, relationships, and all the ships in between. I'm Rez, and I got Meezy with me.
Gang shit.
And he's on the boards.
Yo.
And we're here. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful Tuesday. It's nice and pretty. You know, feeling good.
Hopefully.
I hope so. Who knows, you know? We just got put back under lockdown, so niggas got to be inside from 10 to 5. What will we do?
Lockdown. Chrome spinning.
Nigga, we are not in lockdown.
What will we do?
We're not in lockdown. They just closed everything else. You want to go to the grocery store, it's still open.
Nah, I read it. It said, stay your black ass home. Yes, Rez, I'm talking to you. Stay your black ass home between 10... The funny...
You're just going to do that anyway.
I was in the house.
Because that's just who you are.
I was just asking Eric last night. I was like, so do you think if this pandemic were around, like, we'd be outside? It's like, did we live a life prior to this where we were outside a lot?
Yeah.
And he was like, no.
Yeah. We was out a little bit more. Probably not as much.
I think like every Friday we might have did something. Every other Friday.
We were just with the same people, but there was just more numbers.
It's just cool now, though. I don't care.
Yeah.
Shit. You know what I'm saying? Shout out HBO for dropping that bomb on us, so we might not ever have to leave the house again.
What happened? What happened?
You know
what they
dropped? We ain't gotta go to the movies now. Them shit's coming out in our house now.
AMC just tried one last effort to tell people that they could rent out a movie theater for $100 to watch movies. And I guess that failed, and now they're like...
They ought to use the... AMC should just buy PlayStations and let niggas come in there and play PlayStation.
That's a good idea. That would be fire.
And I will give them the rent. We'll move in. We'll have...
You know what I'm saying?
The top row will be the bedroom.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Just buy the PlayStations and put them in there and have niggas come in there. I mean, you gotta have security, but it's worth it.
Yeah. Damn. We can figure it out.
That'd be fire.
Yeah,
they're gonna have to block off that exit door, though.
Niggas gonna bum us
because it's a pandemic. Niggas is stealing.
It ain't no but two movie theaters in the city now. That's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, this year has been...
One of them turned into a church, didn't they?
Big ass church too.
This year has been a year. 2021 is around the corner. We'll take some time to reflect on that later. But how you guys feeling today?
Another day. You know what I'm saying? Had some pretty good chicken wings from a nasty ass taco spot, but it's cool.
Chicken wings from a taco spot.
Yeah, the tacos was trash. So thank God I got the chicken wings. I hate that white people think they can put anything on the taco and just call it artesian and it work. That shit trash.
You were setting yourself up for failure. I have a thing where you don't go to a burger place and get fish, and you don't go to a seafood restaurant and get a burger. Like whatever the restaurant.
What are you trying to apply here? I said, luckily, I got the wings because the tacos were trash.
The taco was nasty. Okay.
From the taco place.
But why were they selling wings? Were they like taco wings?
Nah, they were just regular wings. That was bussing.
I am intrigued. What are taco wings? What could those be?
Like, you take the seasoning packet that comes with the tacos and you sprinkle it on the wings.
You do realize.
And you dip it in sour cream instead of
You do
ranch.
realize only niggas do that.
What?
Season they tacos with some shit out of a pack.
Everybody else just take it and cook the ground beef.
Yeah,
and
they just salt to taste.
Salt to taste, salt and pepper to taste. I'm feeling good, though. I'm having a good time. Just trying to do the things that I like and enjoy. Today is a good day. Not saying that every day is like that. Every day has been like that. But, just finding time to do the things that I like. So
that's what it's all about. Hand icy today.
So I got my ring back. So I think...
So you guys can stop all your rumors. They're still together.
Yeah.
Relax.
Yeah. Did we talk about that last episode?
Don't remember.
I think we were on live and we said... I really would like to get my ring back. So we had to run up on the jeweler and tell them, like, yo, what's up? They ended up never calling us when my ring was ready. And I had to get a spacer so that no other accidents happen because it was too big. It fell off my finger. Yeah. But that's another story for another day. You ready to get into our topic for today?
Sure.
What we
So,
here for?
what'd you say?
What we here for?
This is what we're here for. So thank you guys for tuning in. If you're listening right now, I want you to take a screen grab. If you're watching on YouTube, take a picture of your TV, tag Textually Active, and share it on your social medias. And make sure you tag us too so we can know that you're listening. Who's listening? Who's listening to TA? Who fucking with the gang?
People
Say ah.
Oh,
If you fucking with the gang, say ah.
I was like, what are you trying to do?
I was trying to get him hype.
we have a whole productions team that don't produce.
He don't listen.
No, 'cause
He's not listening to the car. If you fucking with that gang, say ah.
If you
Measy, what's the name of that producer group? I think it's like Cool and Dre. They're like where it sounds like you open up a Sprite like
yeah,
that's what I thought she was doing. I'm like,
I was so
Nah, that's the crowd. That's
the runners.
That's the crowd going crazy.
Look at that. That sounds like a Sprite.
Yeah, that sound like when you get that spicy Sprite from McDonald's.
Ooh, McDonald's Sprite. Hit the back of your throat, clear it right on up.
Chill
All right.
out, free.
Yo, you gotta
Throw babies. Anywho, so we're here to talk about our topic for the week. The last 2 weeks we've been playing this game called Among Us. It's crack. If you haven't played it, you need to. I was introduced to it on Thanksgiving from my lovely fiance. He said, you got to play this game. I said, I don't play games. I played the game. I never stopped playing the damn game. And I realized that I can invite my friends. It's really good. It's really fun. So the point of the game is to trick your friends into believing that you are not an imposter, which in some strange way ties into our adult life, because we run around all the time. I don't know about you guys, but I do. And I run around facing myself as an imposter. Sometimes you wake up, you feel like you're about to do something great, and then you realize, wait, am I really great at this? Like, is this something that I can do and do well? Or have I led myself to believe that this is something that I'm good at? And the people in psychology call that imposter syndrome. So the way I feel about it is, I try to brush it away, but I wanted to take some time to actually talk about it with you guys and see how you experience imposter syndrome outside of Among Us, because we all like to be the imposter in that game.
yeah.
I had to quit playing that shit because they'll never let me kill nobody. I played for 3 hours the other day with you niggas. I ain't get to kill nobody. I even changed my name to fix the algorithm.
And the funny thing is, I wonder why is that the more fun part of the game?
It is more fun being the imposter.
And how does that really kind of connect into like real life? It's like, it's just something that you would never do in real life. So it's just like, yeah, I can do it in the game.
Like, bro, I wake up every morning, supposedly supposed to complete these tasks before the day's over.
Right.
Okay.
But I usually don't get a chance to. But if I got a chance to run around and not do shit, how much fun would life be if you just run around and not do shit?
Or you just run around and pretend to be something that you're not. Pretend that you're living you're doing your tasks, you're going to work. Whole time you just fucking shit up for everybody else.
Shit up for everybody else. And I love to go. I came in, fuck shit up, and I left. I love that. But I think I deal with imposter syndrome. And I think it's this is just hilarious. I think it's because of the podcast. Like, people sit here and they like, oh my God. Like, I feel like people think doing what we do is this, it takes immense courage or immense like personality type to do this. And so they think the things that we do is like amazing. Like, somebody was like giving me my flowers the other day, like yesterday. I was like, yeah, man, you got the city on smash, you podcast this, podcast that. And I was just like, yeah.
Show up every Tuesday.
I talk about what we supposed to talk. We just now started selling t-shirts and stuff. But all right, thank you. Like, I don't know how to take that. I feel like what I do is very regular. I feel like anybody could do what I do. They might be able to do it the way that I do it, but anybody could do this if you know what I'm saying, you take the time and think it out. Right. And now with my adult ADHD that I'm self-diagnosing because
I feel like I just want to make sure that people know that you're self-diagnosing.
I'm self-diagnosing, but I apply all the, like, I can taste my food. That's how I know I don't got COVID.
Oh,
so,
okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I can taste my food, so I know I don't got COVID. So the way my brain has been working lately, I think I might have it. And with that, it gives me this sense of like, sometimes I want to be a perfectionist. And sometimes me wanting to be a perfectionist stops me from getting anything done. Mm-hmm. And so then with that, it becomes, did I do what I did well enough? Like, so it's hard for me to like balance, like, am I good enough or not do anything at all when I do something.
So by definition, for those of you who haven't caught on, imposter syndrome can be defined as a collection of feelings of inadequacy that persists despite evident success. Imposters suffer from chronic self-doubt and a sense of intellectual fraudulence that override any feelings of success or external proof of their competence. So no matter how successful you may be, how much success you achieve, how many great things that you do, you still in the back of your mind think, I don't know, like, I didn't do it like that. And I feel like I'm glad that you mentioned the podcast because I feel the same way too. Almost to the point, like, not every time, but a lot of the times when I'm in one of those moods and I'm not like feeling bubbly and happy, I'm thinking like, am I really like who I say that I am on this podcast? Am I really living up to the person that I come in here and I am? And then I have to remind myself, it's like, you don't sit up here and lie. Right. You don't come on here and say, I got $1 million and everything is great and bubbles and sunshine and I'm so fucking happy. Like, you are authentic every time you come in here. And it's kind of like that check that you have to have with yourself. But it really sucks when you get down and you feel that way because we do a good job doing this. Like, we're nothing that we do about this podcast is fake. We don't come in here. Well, I mean, we are the best podcast in the city, but we talk about it. You know, call it spade a spade. But we carry that and we're humble about it. It's not like we just running around at the top of our lungs telling everybody, yo, we got the best.
We probably should do that because as I noticed, you know, the negativity is what draws the people in. So we probably should just start running around yelling that shit just so people can be like, what is this? And start hating and then at least tune in.
But our feelings of
the live marketing plan unfolding right on Textually Active.
You see me?
But our self-doubt prevents us from doing that.
I mean, it is because a lot of times I don't even like to talk about the podcast. Like,
me either.
When people be like all the time, I get, I see the podcast doing that. I just be like, yeah, like I don't be want to talk about it because it's like, what do you want me to say to you? Like, I can't, like, it ain't nothing I could show you. It's just some shit that we do. Like, he gave me the old equipment the other day, and I'm like sitting there like I used to have to put this shit together every week.
Equipment.
The vintage, sorry. I used to like have to. We used to put these together every week by hand, and it's been so long that I don't even remember how to do it now. And it's like
I still owe Meezy a call.
Yeah, so like you do, but it's like it's like we've like grew so much that I don't even like remember what it's like to do it by hand now. And so now it's like I don't know no more. Like I don't feel it ain't like a hunger. Like we do this is good and I don't really want to talk about it. But it's really something that is amazing that I probably should be screaming from the top of my lungs about.
Yeah, it's almost like for me, I get embarrassed to talk about it and I don't know why, but I think it may be that feeling of self-doubt that creeps up on me when people always have to be the ones to tell me, oh yeah, I see you on that podcast. And I'm kind of like, yeah, I do the podcast. Yeah. Like I don't really boast about it or talk about it in a loud way that makes people want to do it. And it's almost like, damn, why the fuck did you say that? Especially like if I'm with a group of people and they're like, oh, she does this podcast. It's really dope. I listen to it all the time. And I'm like, yeah, I do. And it shouldn't be that way. But since we struggle with imposter syndrome, that's how we feel about the things that we do. Even with outside of the podcast, graduating this year. Like, I didn't talk about that enough because I talked myself into thinking that it wasn't a big accomplishment. Right. To the point where it took for me, and Eric was bigging me up the whole time, but it took for me to go home and feel that love and support from my family to actually realize that I did something great. And it eats up at you. And it's something that I don't know what to do to make it better, but I have some ideas on how to make it better and some things that I do want to try. Have you experienced it anywhere outside of the podcast?
I mean, I suffer from social anxiety in general. Like, it's one of my biggest things that I didn't realize until like recently. I feel like as I've gotten older, a lot of things I never paid attention to have now taken effect on my life. Like, I used to be all right with being in class and public speaking, but now, as a damn near 30-year-old, I don't want to go places and have to public speak now. I tried to ask a question at this forum one time, and the whole time I got in the line, I was like super nervous. I felt my voice being very like shaky and wavy, and I was like, yeah, and I'm like, why am I?
There's nothing ever worse than someone, you hear somebody in the background, you got it, go ahead. That's the biggest fear.
But the whole time I'm like, I've never felt like this, and this is what, like 26-year-old me, right. And so then now even going on like club boxing rooms with people I don't know, and like everybody's like got these these professional ass rooms, and I go in there and somehow get put on stage. Like, me and E was in a room the other day, and
I don't know if you all right, go ahead.
So these they were like professional niggas in here talking about shit that they really be doing, and I had to like stop myself and go
be crafty
and like throw up a resume that sounded crazy. So a nigga like me was like, my name is Easy Boulevard, I'm a media personality. You can see my work on TMZ Live and Complex.
Which is true.
Which is all true. Which is all true. But it felt like a lie. Like, it felt like this.
The thing is,
I was making up.
If you have to understand, everything you said was true.
Yes.
Right? But the thing is, I think what is just it's the understanding of like most people might assume that it's coming from the actual place,
right.
like that you were hired by TMZ,
right.
But you are a freelancer,
right?
Like the thing is, like, you are a media personality that you're working on your own business, your own brand, right? And your stuff, TMZ use your content in order to move the needle for themselves,
right?
And that is something that they cannot take away from you.
Right.
And this shit just sound weird to have to build this, and then when I look at all the shit that I've done, I forget certain aspects of stuff. Like, I might go into a room and forget, I also A&R for Banks. Like, I also manage him. I also do Textually active. You know what I'm saying? Like, I also do. Well, I put it on pause since I lost my job because niggas got to pay for shit now. And
right.
Without no job, you can't pay for shit. But, I do a radio show and shit like that. And so I'm I do so much, I be forgetting what I've done and try to pick pieces that sound important to build this. And it's like, I did all of this.
Yeah, you did.
I did.
You did.
But,
so E,
yes.
You're very successful. You come off successful. You
you even got
have
one of
a
those,
successful air about you.
You got one of those successful names too.
EA Green. You handle your business. Have you ever dealt with imposter syndrome?
All the time. And it's very unique because where I'm at today, where I'm able to make money to make a living off today, was not something that I set out to do, right? And I feel like that is going to happen a lot to people who are millennials or just multi-hyphenates, or I call them the comma ands, right? Because I do this, comma, this, and that.
Yeah.
And the thing is, because for the most part, when growing up, especially millennials, we're kind of putting in, if you're in a, coming from a modest upbringing, it's go to school, get a job, retire. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But then when you find stuff, when you're exploring, you run into stuff that you're passionate about by mistake, maybe, or it's something kind of appears out of nowhere, and then you start to dig into it and you start making money from it. It's well, I wasn't formally trained to do this, right? I graduated from the top of my class of YouTube University, and I will always tell people that, right? I just happen to have other stuff that I've done in the past that luckily I've been able to try to find the parallel, how to connect it and stuff.
I think for me, it's because I don't have what he just said, the others, right? everything I like accomplished or did, it just came organically. Like
Right.
me going on TMZ just was me tweeting some ignorant shit. TMZ saw it, was like, "Oh, come do the show." This is just us being friends, and was like, "Hey, we should do a podcast." That Banks is like my best friend. Like he was like, "Oh no, you got the ear. You know what you talking about. Just help me." You know what I'm saying? It's not like I was like, "No, I want to go do a podcast. Let me learn everything
Like,
to learn
the
about
intention behind
podcasts."
it,
Yeah,
the
like
intention behind it.
learn everything about podcasts and then go do one. It's like, no, my friends wanted to do a podcast. We got a mic and we started talking, and it evolved into something different. So I feel like because of the, you know what I'm saying? Like niggas was like, I was an intern for such and such and I got into this field to do this. I was like, no, bro, I just lived and figured this out. I listened to stuff. I'm on YouTube. I'm listening to other podcasts from people who know what they're talking about. And I just learned some shit. Like the other night, Usher was on Club Box talking about a story where the song Can We Talk by Tevin Campbell is really supposed to be an Usher song.
Right.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And he told this story on Clubhouse, but I already
knew about it. Yeah,
but I already knew though. Like I'd already knew that, and so everybody was like, "Wow, this is such amazing." I'm like,
Knew that.
knew that already. Like, I knew that. But it's like one of those things where like I ought just grab shit and run with it. Like even now, like I'm thinking about venturing into apparel. You know what I'm saying? Now that we started showing t-shirts, it's not as hard as motherfuckers make it.
Right.
And so it's like, oh, I think I could do this. And it ain't like no proper, I didn't have to learn what types of fabrics and dyes go good. Like, I didn't have to learn none of that shit. I just picked some shit up that I thought was cool because I saw everybody else doing it.
Right. I think a big piece to it is overcoming this, to help us overcome the self-doubt, is just having the confidence behind the things that we're doing. We all sat here and we said that we don't really think that we should be in the place that we're in because that wasn't our goal in the beginning. But now that we're in there, we should have a little bit more confidence behind what we do because we set out to do something that we weren't formally trained to do and we're fucking good at it. And you would think that would make you stick your chest out and be prideful and talk about it all the time, but it's kind of like, I don't know.
But I'm not one of them people because that shit sound corny.
See, but the thing is, I feel like the confidence is one thing. I feel like confidence is a I guess not to say after effect, but like I'm trying to figure out the right word to say, but it's like it happens in result to it, right? And I think it's like not necessarily the confidence; it's about the intention behind it, right? So my thing is like, if for Meezy, right? If you said, "Oh, I got on TMZ because I just said something that you felt," you didn't say it because you thought it was going to do that, right? But if you were intentional, or if you moved through the intention of like, hey, we're going to do this. I'm going to do this the best that I can, so I can essentially speak for the air, my peers that are in this space, right? That it turns into the whole different piece, right? So that was like the whole thing with this. Is like, all right, I started podcasting because I wanted to promote an idea that I had, right? And then I realized that people were like, "Well, that idea is cool, but what's this podcasting thing that you're doing? And are you doing this by yourself?" Or how you're editing a video too, you know what I'm saying? Like it just kind of turned into it, and it's just like, all right. Then when I decided to, hey, I'm going to make a living out of this, I had to change my intention. Right. My intention is like, all right, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it the best that I can, right, and make sure that I can push the envelope. And then I think that's where the confidence kind of comes in after the fact, because it's like you are intending to do a good job, and then people are rewarding you for the job that you're doing.
I think in the podcast industry and in media industry, and with us being people who are on social media, we're tweeting, we put our face out there, we put our brand out there all the time. Confidence is something that we have to come with. Like we can't get on social media and look scared or look shy. Like we have to present ourselves like we know what the hell we're talking about.
But that's the easy part.
Yeah.
The easy part is doing that because there's no pressure to be anybody on social media. You know what I'm saying? Like, the whole thing of social media is, hey, this is me. I'm a girl with a fat ass. I'm going to take all these pictures so you can see that I got a fat ass. Versus, in public, you a girl with a fat ass, but you also got on bummy clothes today.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I have a car. Like, you see my videos of me from the car. You don't know it's an Altima until you see me in real life. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I feel like that's the thing. When you go follow somebody, you go follow them because of what it looked like.
Right.
And in real life, they probably a shitty ass person.
You don't know that.
You don't until real life happens.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, until real life. So you might see me and think, oh, Meezy he do a podcast. He do this and that. And
the highlight reel.
The highlight reel. And then, like, in real life, that nigga won't take a shower for 3 days. Like, he would, at least, nigga ain't brush his teeth in 3 days. Like,
stop coming on here telling people this is the second time.
I mean,
you done came on here and told these people you don't wash up.
Is it transparent or vulnerable?
You're actually being
transparent.
It's transparent.
Like, but
how do you feel about not brushing your teeth or taking a shower?
It doesn't affect me either way because I don't also leave the house.
So that's the vulnerability part.
Oh, okay. Bingo. But you know what I'm saying? It's like that. Like, bro, until you like have to like voice this to people.
Or be in front of them.
Yeah, like it don't bother me that much.
I think that social media plays a role into imposter syndrome too, because you get a chance to compare yourself.
Exactly.
And although we don't think that we're doing it, sometimes I'll get on social media and I look at the girls who do the things that I do and I'm like, damn, she's fucking killing it. Or shit, she posted again. I ain't posting like 2 months. Like, damn, I don't show my face enough. Like, just certain stuff like that. And then that comparison kind of leads me down the path of, well, am I doing this the way that I should be doing? And it eats up at your self-esteem. And if you're not careful, social media can play a role in how you perceive yourself to be, because you spent all this time posting all the highlights and then you take a moment while you're at home, you ain't showered in 3 days, ain't brushed your teeth in 3 days, and you look in the mirror and you're like, damn. And you find yourself comparing yourself to somebody who is showing their highlights on social media. Like, and then you compare yourself in that moment to your highlights on social media and you're like, man, maybe I'm not who the fuck I say I am. Like, I got niggas on the internet thinking I'm a bad bitch, and here I am with my nigga t-shirt on, no pants, hair all over the place, bonnet leaning to the side, drool falling down my face. Like, am I really a bad bitch?
Yeah, like, and then just it's regular. Like, this is a regular thought for people to have, and we probably have talked about this, but it's just like, I know that I'm as good as you, but I'm not sure I believe it yet.
I don't know if we should be comparing ourselves to people.
So that's something that I learned actually in grad school, right? It's like the idea of called benchmarking, right? And it's in business, it's just like if you have competition and they're ahead, right? You say, hey, in 3 years, we want to get to where they're at today, right? But by the time you get there 3 years from now, they're now 3 years still ahead, right? So it's just one of those things, like, we kind of do that mentally, like on an everyday basis around us, right? Like, we want to naturally group things together, and we naturally want to compare things so we can understand the food chain of it all, right? The proverbial food chain. So I just think that's something that we essentially do. But it's like one of those things, if you put a goal ahead of yourself that you are trying to acquire or try to achieve, no one you can compare yourself to, because to you, that is success.
Fact.
Yeah. I think a good way to measure your progress is to kind of look back and see what was going on. And I get a kick out of it when I'm on social media for TA and I'm posting stuff on the gram, and I'll get like memories. And if you scroll down far enough,
fam,
boy, we was posting anything.
Fam, I just played and in hindsight, I thought it was like a good escape episode. But in hindsight, it was kind of revolutionary.
What?
We recorded the party and used it as an episode. Like, we just thought it was like, okay, we just fill this in because we still high off this party. We might not have time to record. Let's just use this as an episode. But when I go back, it was like, oh no, I could relive that night whenever, because I could just listen to it and remember.
But that was intentional.
For you?
I mean, no, but my thing is, like, I knew, in my opinion, especially when we found out that we sold out the day before, I was like, yo, like, this, like this can't be something that we can only just remember. right? This has to be something that has to be documented so that no matter what, like it can never be taken away from you.
It's like episode 58, and I'm like, that we had like this is 138. Like we did that in the both in the middle. Right I was like it's in the middle of that shit.
Right.
And it's like that's fire because I ain't never aside from like people doing live podcasts, like I ain't never heard nobody do no shit like that.
No.
Right.
It was cool. It was cool to think about when you like go and realize, especially with all the phases our show been through.
Yeah.
So I have a question, and I want to see what you guys think about it. So I think there's this whole thing
question time
that you know that we sometimes we compare ourselves to others. You know, there's highlights and all these other things, right? But I think, do you think that culturally, right, as you know, I'm saying as Black people, right, that culturally that imposter syndrome is imposed on us, right? Because Meezy said something earlier about not necessarily talking about the things that he's accomplished, right, and the things that, and not making big of it because he thought it would be corny, right?
Oh.
And the thing is like, not to say that you don't think it's corny and that's not your own thought,
right?
But that is a cultural thing, right?
Yeah.
Because we see as a people that, you know,
this
we have
nigga reading
that, you know, that we think that certain, because think about it, right? That we've all been there. You're reading a book. This motherfucker want to read a book,
right? She gotta go do her homework. Oh, look at her go do her homework.
You know what I'm saying? Like I mean, ultimately, like being successful, like sometimes being too successful is not cool.
Right.
Not, you know, not being smart is not cool. You know,
talking about your
cool.
success too much is not cool.
I
always trying to sell your brand is not cool. And it's kind of like, why do I feel shame for trying to promote the stuff that I'm doing to the point where I don't bring it up in rooms?
When Target shows you that dog every time, right? And you
when what?
Don't even use
Target
the dog
shows you
no
that
more.
dog every time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But we accept it in other places.
I think it's because it comes off as being like better than you.
But why?
I don't know. It just like if you keep telling me, like Rez keep telling me I did my hair by hand, like nigga, well, a bunch of bitches do that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like just because you own this talent, you telling me don't mean shit to me. Like it's a bunch of people who do what you do. Why do you feel the need to keep telling us that you do it? And I just think it's one of those things where maybe we hate. Maybe we some haters. Hey, I got a lot of hate in my DNA. I ain't even gonna hold you. And like sometimes I see shit like I don't keep the buck. Jack Harlow album. Jack Harlow, white rapper, a white guy. I was ready to hate when the album came out on Friday. I ain't gonna hold you. I was ready to hate.
Mm-hmm.
Then I heard it, and I'm like, the production real good on here. Then I'm like, well, he can kind of rap, like, but I will not give it up for Jack Harlow. I feel like it's like a plant, like it's okay. Like sometimes we just like don't want to hear about that shit because we don't care. Like,
or sometimes you're just not in a space to receive it.
Yeah,
I feel like we do a lot of balancing on that line of being corny or being intentional and promoting your brand. Like you don't want to come off as a fraud. That's the worst thing to do.
Right.
And I think that plays into self-doubt too, because if you're sitting up here doing all this stuff and somebody were to expose you on the platform and say, no, actually you wasn't in TMZ,
right.
blah, blah, blah. Like you don't want that to happen. So it's like we tiptoe around our accomplishments because our biggest fear is that somebody is going to give us that pointing hand, you know, the mannequin where she's standing there like this.
Not even
like,
that.
Cowering.
I think it's that, and I think we don't want nobody else to downplay it.
Right.
Like, if like amongst my circle, I'm the only one that was on TMZ.
Yeah.
Right. But if niggas was telling me like, nigga, it wasn't like you got a job. Like,
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
but that's hate. But so what?
Is it hate?
My thing is like a globally syndicated like show or publication reached out to you. It don't matter for what.
Facts.
It don't matter for what.
I think it's just the fear of niggas downplaying what you did. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's it. Them downplay it also goes along with my insecurity.
But the thing is, it'd be a different story if you said what you said and it said, I can get you on TMZ. And you sold the dream that you could do it to other people too.
Yeah.
You know, If you had capititis, that'd be something.
Hepatitis is hilarious.
Hepatitis is a thing.
Title.
Because some of you guys aren't dealing with self-sabotage.
Self-diagnosed capititis.
Your capititis. You're
Some
lying.
Some of you niggas be
frauding.
lying, and it's okay. Because I believe in fake it till you make it.
Capitize.
Ooh, okay. Hold
I
on.
believe in fake it till you make
Unpack it. Unpack it.
Tell us more.
I mean, we live in, like, I was talking about this last night. We said this, why would you have a Birkin on 4th Street?
Yep, we did.
But you could go find a purse that looks like a Birkin, and you just bought it because you thought it was a nice purse. You didn't buy it. Well, you probably did buy it. You probably bought it because it looked like a Birkin. But
that's why everybody bought 300s.
It's just everybody bought 300s because they look like the Rolls Royce.
Right.
But
they did.
It was in your price range. It looked good for you and it felt good for you. Fine. You see my necklaces in here. They might not be real. They might be plated. But it's really for the aesthetic of when I get there and shit be legit, I already know how to do it.
It ain't foreign.
It ain't. I'm used to this.
It's just a little bit heavier on my neck. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like nigga, what am I buying? I don't have the money. Why would I spend the money that I don't have on some shit for nobody to care?
I think we say that every time we bring this up, we get so close and so attached to these celebrities that we think that we are on their same tax bracket and on their same level. Thank God for social media. It let us know what a lot of your lifestyles are like. However, we are not your friends. Like as much as we like to pretend, as much as y'all like to say that the girl that the baby dating and Lil Baby dating and the one that her baby mom and all them girls is y'all best friends, they're not. And we are very different.
Because JT will tell you, we're not twins.
We are not the same. Like I cannot do the things that these girls do, and I understand that wholeheartedly from the bottom of my heart. So when you look at me as a regular girl, I know that y'all gonna compare me to somebody else who was out here making money. However, it doesn't stop me from carrying myself in a way where I feel like I'm a bad bitch. I'm gonna get the money, so I'm gonna carry myself. So when I do get the money, it's gonna be looking good.
It's regular.
Like, act like you've been there before.
And you shouldn't shame people for trying to, like they say this all the time in corporate America, dress for the position that you want. So when I come in here with my lashes on and my makeup laid and all this shit and I look good, it's because I'm dressing for a position that I want. Nobody's going to look at me and be like, oh, here she go, coming up in here looking like anything again, and look at me for the next role or look at me to be a host of something or invite me to come on their podcast. Like, I don't want to invite nobody on my podcast looking the best, you know? So you got to dress for the role that you want. So fake it till you make it is, I mean, it's got a bad stigma for no reason. Nah, I don't think fake it till you make it is the same as
because they will quickly tell you, get you a circle of friends who empower you. Like, okay, now
that's the hardest shit
now you
ever.
got me comparing my life, and I just keep seeing Simone go to the beach every week.
That's the hardest
like,
shit
you know what I'm
ever.
saying? Like, I keep seeing her on the beach somewhere.
But then that's a two-way street too, right? Because someone like a Simone will then come up with say, yo, I had this idea that you guys could execute and it would kill. Right. Like she's that type of person, right? You ain't going to have it's one of those things of me. Yeah. You are the sum of the 5 people who are closest to you, but you also make sure that they're not a dick neither.
Valid.
Right? Because if they're successful, but they're a dick, then you're going to wind up being a dick. Like that's just one of those things. So you might be successful. You might learn something, but you might break some of the branches while you try to climb up. You know what I'm saying? True.
Yeah, I'm proud to say that I like to surround myself with women who are go-getters, strong, and about the bag. Because what those women will do is they don't never make me feel bad. Oh, my friends know I'm fucking broke. They know I'm broke. They don't treat me like I'm broke though. They talk to me. They give me advice. They give me the situations that will put me in a position to be a better person. Like if they see a job opportunity that's good for me, they'll say this is how you go about it. And I think when they say hang around people that you want to be like, it's because they're going to drop knowledge on you without that extra bullshit because you're their friend.
Right.
However, you have to be able to control yourself and your emotions to not fuck that up.
But what I do want to say is that yes, you can try to separate or surround yourself around people that might be quote unquote above you, right? Or a little more successful than you, right? You just have to find out what can you give in exchange for what they're going to give you.
Fact.
Right. So my thing is like, yeah, someone might have cash, right? But if you can give them sweat equity in return, you can help them do research and return, like something that can help them pick up where, because like, you know, no matter what, like someone can't do everything, right? So my thing is like, yo, if I know that, you know, Meezy is into music, he's into all these different things, right? Making sure that, yo, if I seen that, yo, this new campaign is coming out, what do you think about this? Or what Rez is like, yo, you know, this new fitness thing is coming out, what do you think about, you know, like finding ways that you can help them fulfill something where they might be lacking.
Facts.
That's the exchange.
Give a penny, take a penny.
Oh, that's good.
It's good.
I don't ever leave one though. I do, because it's for some reason that North Carolina state tax come up to some weird ass change.
It sure do.
Every time, like 61, like nigga, I had $1.50. Like,
that shit said $9.40, and coming from a state that doesn't typically have sales tax, it was a bit to adjust to.
Yeah, that should be weird.
So we heard about, you know, how we've experienced imposter syndrome in our lives. I read an article and they broke down imposter syndrome into 5 different categories, 5 different ways that we may experience it. And they also gave a few tips on how we can deal with it and manage it. So I wanted to go through the list and figure out which one we identify with, and then give the listeners a little piece of how they can fix it.
Bet.
Before we do it, let me just name them and you guys let me know which one you think you are. So the expert is one. Do any of you guys feel like that?
No.
They have the soloist. That might be you, Meezy. The natural genius. That's giving E. The Superman or Superwoman. And the perfectionist.
So I'm having a hard time following. So you're labeling these things, and what does it mean again?
So these are different types of imposter syndrome. Okay. So your personality and why you may feel like you're an imposter because of your personality type. Okay. So they have the perfectionist, the Superman or Superwoman, the natural genius, the soloist, and the expert. So for the perfectionist, the questions are, have you ever been accused of being a micromanager? Any of you sound? No? Okay. Do you have difficulty delegating even when you're able to do so? Do you feel frustrated and disappointed in the results? When you miss the mark on something, do you accuse yourself of not being cut out for your job? Do you feel like your work must be 100% perfect 100% of the time?
Oh, no, that's not me.
That's not me.
That's not me.
Okay, so the next one is the Superwoman or the Superman. Not sure if this applies to you. Let's answer the questions. Do you stay later at the office than the rest of your team, even past the point that you've completed that day's necessary work?
No.
Do you get stressed when you're not working and find downtime completely wasteful?
No.
I think that
sometimes
that's me.
Sometimes.
I beat myself up about sitting down and not doing work, or
Sometimes.
think about all the things that I could be doing while I'm laying down and I can't lay down. Have you ever let your hobbies and passions fall by the wayside, sacrifice to work?
No.
That was because I had to, though.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, there's a sense of obligation.
Yeah,
like,
I had to.
I need to. This needs to happen for us to
Right,
continue.
right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Some had it wasn't gonna pay for itself.
I feel like there's a sense of like, if you've already completed and you feel like you need to do more. I feel like that's where that's kind of falling.
Yeah. Do you? Okay. I feel like no, because I still kind of do my passions outside of work. So I only have one so far. The next one is, do you feel like you haven't truly earned your title despite numerous degrees and achievements? Do you feel so pressed to work harder and longer than those around you to prove your worth?
Nope.
To an extent.
Cap.
No. So none of us are the Superwoman or the Superman. The natural genius. Are you used to excelling without much effort?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have a track record of getting straight A's or gold stars in everything you do?
No.
Were you told frequently as a child that you were the smart one in your family or peer group?
Yes.
Do you dislike the idea of having a mentor because you can handle things on your own?
Yes.
No.
When you are faced with a setback, does your confidence tumble because not performing well provokes a feeling of shame?
Yes.
No.
Do you often avoid challenges because it's so uncomfortable to try something you're not great at?
Yes.
Oh shit! I think we found Meezies.
Yes.
We found it.
We found ding 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 ding. The natural genius. Okay. So it says to move past this, try seeing yourself as a work in progress. Accomplishing great things involves lifelong learning and skill building for everyone, even the most confident people. Rather than beating yourself up when you don't reach your impossibly high standards, identify specific changeable behaviors that you can improve over time.
That's crazy.
That's kind of fire.
For example, if you want to have more impact at the office. I don't know why they're catering this to a 9 to 5. If you want to have more of an impact in your life, it's much more productive to focus on honoring your presentation skills than swearing off speaking up in meetings as something you're just not good at.
Oh, so they just want you to just do the shit.
Yeah.
Versus the say why you can't do it.
Forcing yourself to like
talk yourself out of it.
There's times where there's like you feel like I feel obligated, like say if you're in a group setting,
right,
and then you may not necessarily have anything to provide or to add, but then you feel obligated to do it because everybody else did it.
That's me for sure. Like even when we have our meetings, I just be like, let me just say something so they at least know I'm engaged, I'm paying attention. Yeah,
I mean, and the honest, you know what, I thank you because I look for that.
Just something
because I feel like I talk to myself a lot. Not necessarily with you guys, but just like I'm moving at such a million miles an hour. And
right.
I need constant feedback because I guess one of the baggage that I have is that I've been kind of looked at as like the micromanager or the bossy type. Right. And that's like, and I try not to make decisions, especially in a group project, without getting the feedback because I need your buy-in.
Right.
Because I don't want to just do it and then you're like.
So I realized that I didn't explain how to fix it for those of the people who might be out there listening. So if you felt like you answered yes to the questions about the perfectionist, I'm just going to read off what you should do based off of this article that we have here. So it says for this type, and again, this was the type that is the micromanager. They have a hard time. They feel like everything must be 100% perfect 100% of the time. And when you miss your mark, you accuse yourself of not being cut out for your job. So for this type, success is rarely satisfying. I don't know why I can't talk. Satisfying because they believe they could have done it better, but that's neither productive nor healthy. Owning and celebrating your achievements is something essential. And if you want to avoid burnout, find contentment and cultivate self-confidence. Learn to take your mistakes in stride, viewing them as a natural part of the process. In addition, push yourself to act before you're ready. Force yourself to start the project you've been planning for months. Truth is, there will never be the perfect time, and your work will never be 100% flawless. The sooner you're able to accept that, the better off you will be. So that's for all the perfectionists out there. And then if you felt like you're the Superman or the Superwoman, this is working very hard. You let your hobbies go to the wayside to do work. You feel like you don't earn your title. This is imposter workaholics, and they are addicted to the validation that comes from working, not to the work itself. Start training yourself to veer away from external validation. No one should have more power to make you feel good about yourself than you. Even your boss, when they give you your project, the stamp of approval. On the flip side, learn to take constructive criticism seriously, not personally.
That is me to an extent.
Mm-hmm. And
the funny thing is, it kind of ties into my love language of words of affirmation.
Yeah,
because like you kind of want, and I just said it, the feedback. You kind of want to know, like, am I going in the right direction before I dig a mile deep and I'm wrong.
Right, but you don't need that validation every time. As you become more in tune and to internal validation and able to mature your inner confidence, that states you're competent and skilled, you'll be able to ease off the gas as you gauge how much work is reasonable.
That's crazy.
Okay. I think I relate to some of that. I kind of relate to...
Which one you think you are?
So we still got two more. We have the soloist and the expert. Huh?
Do those.
Okay. Yeah. So the soloist, the questions are, do you firmly feel that you need to accomplish things on your own? I don't need anyone's help. I don't need anyone's help. Does that sound like you? Do you frame requests in terms of the requirements of the project rather than your needs as a person? Yeah, to an extent.
Parts of it.
To an extent.
Parts of it is me. I feel like I need to do stuff by myself.
Yeah. It feels like it says that if you are the soloist, you feel like asking for help reveals that you're a fraud. Yeah. They don't give help for that one. I guess there's no help.
Ask for help, then. That's what it is.
The answer is to ask for help. It's okay to be independent, but not to the extent that you refuse assistance so that you can prove your worth. So I guess that's something that we have to take away and realize that not asking for help doesn't make you stronger than somebody else. I don't like that.
I think you're revealing that you might have soloist tendencies.
I do. All right, and then the last one is the expert. So do you shy away from applying to job postings unless you meet every single educational requirement?
Yes.
I do too. Which I learned that white men don't do that. White men will apply to a position that requires a master's degree with a high school diploma and might get the job. But I mean, shout out to the white men out there.
But that goes into a whole nother level of
systematic oppression.
Yes,
it does. It does. Are you constantly seeking out trainings or certifications because you think you need to improve your skills in order to succeed?
Yes, I used to.
Even if you've been in your role for some time, can you relate to the feeling that you still don't know enough?
Yes.
Do you shudder when someone says you're an expert?
Yes.
So you got the expert.
Fam, I'm sitting here. I got imposter syndrome.
Natural genius.
Like of some shit.
But I mean,
regardless.
but technically, imposter. Yes, they give it a thing, but it's not real.
It's real. Like
it's literally self-imposed.
Right.
I will say I do have a mixture of the perfectionist and the soloist. But for the expert, they say that it's true. There's always more things to learn. Striving to bulk up your skill set can certainly help you make strides professionally and keep you competitive in the job market. But taken too far, the tendency to endlessly seek out more information can actually be a form of procrastination. Procrastination. I feel like that beats our ass a little bit. The procrast beats your ass.
Yeah. I've been chalking it up to my ADD.
I just be feeling like I'm one of those people where if it's a whole bunch of shit to do, I won't do anything.
I just be wanting like what hurts me the most is that when I decide to do something and it not work out. So it's like I just put all this fucking effort into this and it didn't work out when I really didn't want to do this to begin with.
Right.
And so it bothers me. Like the other night putting together this vintage equipment, I was this close to figuring it out.
Why you didn't call?
It was sleep already. But when this was after I'd already tried to call him to say, you know what, just show me how to do it. I still continued to work on it and I gave this effort and it didn't work out. And I was just like, you know what? Fuck this shit. I just wait till he really to the last minute. And when he really got to explain to me, then I'll do it. And I do that for everything in life. I waited till the last minute to quit my job. Like I should have probably been quit that job a long time ago.
Yeah.
But it was just something telling me that I needed to keep it. I've been waiting. I probably should have went back to school, but something was just like no. And it feels like it goes against everything they tell you about waiting for the perfect timing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it feels like that. Like, no.
Who told you to wait for the perfect time?
It's me procrastinating, but it's also a timing thing that I don't know how to deal with that.
It's never going to be the perfect time. It's never going to be the perfect time to do
I'm not
anything.
gonna lie. That's something that I learned basically by getting let go and getting into this. It's like when you think about doing it and you're like, oh, maybe should I not do it anyway, right? Because like there's stuff that I would probably say that my gut told me that I needed to do, And by natural conventionalism, I would have said, maybe no, you don't do it. Right. And I did it anyway, and it worked itself out. Right. Like in terms of like committing to something, not knowing if, the money might come in afterwards. Right. Like sometimes it's like, I'm thinking like, oh, I got to work to get this new contract, but then something just pops up on your door.
Yeah.
Right? I think we spend so much time being hard on ourselves, and what's helped me this past year is talking to myself being gentle to myself, showing graceful love to myself. And I don't know, I heard this in something that I was listening to, but we all have this voice in our head. And I noticed that my voice was just saying like the most wild shit. Like I was calling myself like a dumb bitch in my head, and damn, why you do that stupid shit? Like just talking crazy to myself. And that would make me more anxious and make me more likely to be like on edge and like snap over the littlest things, because I feel bad that I didn't do something right, but then I also have this voice in my head talking bad to me too. Right. So I think they call it our conscious. We have to control that voice, because we do have the ability to think and control our thoughts. And that's something that I think has helped me overcome the feeling of not being good enough.
I have felt better though. I probably picked a bad timing because it's daylight saving time and it get dark early. But I've like literally felt better. Like I know it's me at home not doing shit, and you know what I'm saying, I probably should be doing more, but it's like even having the opportunity, like the other day I was like sitting there thinking like, damn, it's Tuesday. And in the past, this Tuesday, I wouldn't be sitting here relaxed, comfortable on the couch. It would be me trying to decide, am I about to take a nap before I go to work, and then have to go to work. Mm-hmm. Right. And like it felt like really good to just be sitting on the couch. Yep. And like I don't have to worry about getting up in a few minutes to go do something. And it was like one of the things that I was like happy for and glad that I finally like told myself that I could do something other than work this nasty 9 to 5.
Right. Yeah. I think it's easy to attack yourself. That's the first thing. Right. But it takes a little bit more effort to like big yourself up. Right. And just be like, I did that. I did it for a reason, and I'm in a better space because of it. I actually did something that made myself better and enhanced my life in a sense, and that job wasn't working for you. Right. It wasn't. So. And
I'm a bad bitch. You see the hairline.
Hey, hairline on fleek. Ooh. The fuck? Did they use a laser to do that? Was that a laser?
Hey, come on now. You asking too much.
What the hell on talk?
Oh, yeah. You never followed up about your barber conversation. What happened?
I went back, baby. I had to go home.
Oh, you went back.
I had to go home. That back. You see the line? Like, listen.
It's get your barber back season.
Listen. That outside barber have them hoes sick.
Like, that's funny. Like, we talked about this haircut. Ain't nobody talked about these other haircuts I have been getting the way they've been talking about the one today. So I knew when I got them, when Jazz was excited about it, I was like, yeah, I'm back home, baby. I'm bike, baby. I'm back home with the home team.
Ladies, make sure you're validating your man's haircut. We don't want him getting out of that barber chair talking about, damn, do it look good? Am I that nigga again? Nah. Like take his shit, gas him up.
Nah, women lie.
Take that shit to the next level.
Women lie.
When he walked through that door with that haircut, scream a little bit. Ah!
Nah, they be imposters for real. Imposter.
No, but real talk, if y'all want to play Among Us with us outside of this imposter syndrome episode, because imposters are among us, we are the suspect. I think that's our name, right?
The suspect.
The suspect. SUSPAC. Because we be sus. That game is so fun.
New pack in the air, this gas or what?
He'd still be alive if you ain't gas him up.
Was it I'm the imposter, the color of Willy Wonka? That's mine.
Pull up an imposter color of Willy Wonka. All right, let's take a break and actually talk about
helping niggas.
Yeah, let's take a break.
Right.
And we're back with our final thoughts. So I want to take the time to give somebody we're not professionals, but we have experienced this all. As a group, we've experienced self-doubt, imposter syndrome, and obviously we've overcome it because we still get up every day and we do what we got to do. So do you guys have any tips for anybody out there who's listening on how they can overcome their self-doubt in their life and manifest a bad bitch? And no, we're not going to stop saying manifest because it's the word of the year.
I'm glad this year's almost over. If it's true, if you did it, they can never take that away from you.
I like that.
Like,
if you did it, if you did it, then yeah.
Hit the button.
not even that. Even if you think you could find a way to doctor it up. You do makeup.
I could do a good.
You do your own makeup, and somebody told you was good. You might be an MUA.
Yeah.
You might be a makeup artist. If you did your own hair and somebody said, "Oh, you look good. Can you do mine?" You might do hair for a living.
Stylist.
I've been running my own social media pages for years. I understand the analytics. I understand how Twitter work. I understand how Facebook look. I might be a social media strategist. Like, believe
do me.
Yo, what you? Oh, you?
Yeah.
You record podcasts. You do video editing. You might be a multimedia expert. What's this shit they call? I forget. Videographer. You're a videographer. You know what I'm saying? You're a director, producer. Look at the slashes you can get.
Comma and baby.
Right.
I'm an end.
I went viral on internet. I could say I'm a viral person, a viral media personality. I've been viral a couple of times.
What do they call those?
You're a cultural commentator. That's why I like to look at it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I talk about shit.
Yeah, that word. We still have time with that word. People haven't overly used that word,
right?
Or that title.
I taped a sex.
Dot connector is done.
I have sex on tape. Does that make me a porn star?
No.
And
I
we're
think
done.
we're reaching. Okay.
All right.
What do you have?
So what I will have to say, something that I learned about myself this year, especially with the whole panorama, the panda, that you have to give yourself grace. Like, you have to allow yourself the space to not be perfect, right? And then to understand also that, especially with now, that don't look at you not moving and you not being busy as you not being productive. Right. That is one of the bigger things that I also learned, took from other people and stuff like that. Right. And, it's just one of those things that instead of not looking at how comparing yourself and looking upward, look at it in terms of I'm not say compare, but of what you have done. You know what I'm saying? Because you could have took a step backwards. Right. And as long as you're moving forward and you're moving in some different direction, like, then that is valid. And all you need to do is to be able to believe in yourself.
Yeah.
You are who you think you are.
Right.
Absolutely. I think my final thought, and to wrap up everything I said in this episode, is to practice bigging yourself up this week. Practice talking about your accomplishments with somebody this week. Take some time to think about the things that you've done throughout your life. It could be big or small. You graduated kindergarten. That's something to big yourself up about.
You woke up today.
You went to the gym today. Just think about the things that you achieve on a daily basis that you don't have to do. And I guarantee you will feel a lot better about where you've come and where you are right now. And be nice to yourself. Like E said, give yourself grace. And like Meezy said, if you did it, you done it. And you do it. That's about it.
Big facts.
And in the meantime, in between time, don't forget to listen to our Baby Maker playlist to make yourself feel good. And while you saying them affirmations in the mirror, maybe you could play one of these songs, put yourself on something sexy, ladies.
Oh, damn, you're right. Like, I curate. I'm a cultural curator.
Yep.
Like, I curate this. I put people on. Oh,
yep.
Shit.
Mm-hmm. The vibes.
Crazy.
You are now tuned in.
You are now tuned in to WMEZ. This week for the Baby Maker, we've got, I don't even know if I'm saying this right. Hey, you niggas y'all are creative. Let's just say that. This is Guzo, and this song is called Ken's Interlude here on WMEZ.
Textually active.
I was able to find a meme that related to this episode, but I'm gonna let y'all go first.
Oh shit, mine do too. To be honest.
I'm gonna say something that a mentor once told me.
Oh shit.
About in terms of success, right? And a lot of times success is kind of tied into people's imposter syndrome, right? And basically he was telling me a story about if you wanted to climb a mountain, right, you can never go in a straight line. When people climb up the mountain, they essentially kind of go in a zigzag, right? And a lot of it might seem like you are not necessarily moving forward, but the thing is, as you go across, you may have made 20 feet, moving 20 feet moving forward or moving up the mountain. But basically they were saying that there's no clear path. So one thing I just want to leave to you guys is that there's no one way to get up the mountain as long as you keep moving forward, and you will be successful.
That's pretty good.
That is good. I like that statement.
That's pretty good.
I mean, that's a good way to look at it. 'Cause we do all take different paths.
Right.
As long as you're moving forward.
As long as you're moving forward. So mine is don't think you deserve that job. Apply anyway. Don't think your article is good enough. Publish it anyway. Don't think they'll reply to your email. Send it anyway. Don't self-reject. Stop beating yourself up.
That's pretty good. I'm about to beat myself up just a little bit. Mine said, 11-year-old me would be ashamed of the way I fell out from reading for leisure. When you was little, you used to have a book with you all the time talking about I'm about to read. Right. Nigga, not at all. Not now.
Yeah, I don't read enough.
If that bitch ain't on Audible, I don't need it.
And don't hit me with the popcorn reading. I'm not ready. I never will be ready. Still not ready. Don't like the popcorn read.
What you mean, bro? Everybody knew the order that the room went in. You just had to know which part was yours to get to.
As soon as I get up here and read in front of y'all niggas, I'll be like, oh. You always get that.
They call Raz today. You like, oh.
You always get so like you can't even focus. You can't even comprehend.
The word is the nigga.
You can't even
Spit it out.
comprehend because you're so nervous thinking about it's gonna be your turn to read. But whatever, I did it.
Oh, Eminem head ass nigga. These weak palms are sweaty.
Mom spaghetti. That's a pasta.
I see what
You feel me?
Motherfucking pasta.
You hard, Jack.
So thank you all for listening to this week's episode of Textually Active. We'll be back next Tuesday. The holidays are approaching. We want to do something special next week. We want to hear from you guys about how 2020 went for you. Right. Something that happened good for you, how you overcame something, what the year was like for you, because I mean, me and Meezy going to tell y'all anyway, but we want to hear how y'all feel. So reach out to us, send us a DM. You could send us a video message. You could send us a voice message.
No. We're asking for a video. If you want your chance to hear yourself on your favorite podcast, right? Shoot us a video and tell us how your year went. How'd you recover? How'd you cope? How you coped? How you stayed lit, stayed depressed, or whichever. We want to hear it all.
Yeah, you can email it. I would prefer if you email it.
I say if you go into the link. I think the email and the link, ain't it? Hit the link. Yeah. It'll show you how to get to the email. You can send it there. If you don't, just send it to me. Send it to me personally on Meezy Bubba, and I'll make sure these niggas hear it.
I prefer a video, but if you want to do audio, that's fine too. It's some people that I'm looking to hear from. So I want to see how your year went. And Meezy wants to see too.
Yeah, and put some clothes on, nasty motherfuckers.
I mean, you could do it from the shoulder up. That's fine.
And we might have a gift for you too.
Oh yeah, if you do it, we'll have a gift.
Oh,
can we do a gift?
I didn't know that.
I don't know. Eric said we could do a gift.
I'm broke. So
okay,
we gotta figure that out. Don't eat.
Anyway, we'll be back next Tuesday. The deadline to send those videos. I say Hey, send it before next Tuesday.
Today, if you do it before Tuesday, obviously.
Yeah, send it before Tuesday. And we'll be back. We'll see you guys. Follow us on social media. All the links are in the description.
Hey, don't forget to see us Friday. We be live on the internet talking that shit.
TA live at 5, live at 5, live at 5, live at 5.
Live at 5.
That was something I did not know y'all was about to do.
We both just kept doing it. But yeah, we'll holla. Bye.
Peace.
Thank you for listening to the Textually Active podcast. This podcast is a full-service production from the Open Media Lab. Be sure to check in every Textual Tuesday along with following them on all social media at Textually Active Pod. Textually Active is a part of the Open Media Network.